Built in Birmingham, being finished up in Dortmund, and England's great midfield hope heading into the Qatar World Cup. Jude Bellingham, still a teenager and playing like he's a man who is at the peak of his physical powers. This lad is the real deal. His goal in the match between Dortmund and Sevilla in Germany, they shared the points in that. We'll look at that later on. Let's remind you of the results of the 8 matches played today on match day 4 of the UEFA Champions League as we welcome you back to the SportsMax zone. The big result came in Israel, where the Haitian international striker Franz de Piero helped Maccabi Haifa beat Juventus 2-0. Piero himself missing a glorious chance in the second minute from a header. PSG held 1-1 by Benfica. Dortmund and Sevilla finishing 1-1. Copenhagen holding on to Man City 0-0 there in Denmark. Celtic losing at home to RP Leipzig. Real Madrid and Shakhtar battling to a 1-1 draw in Poland. Dinamo Zagreb and RB Salzburg finishing 1-1 as well. And Chelsea beating AC Milan 2-0. And I know that you SportsMax viewers are very sharp-eared. You look at Shakhtar, Real, and hear me say Poland and St. George. What nonsense is that? None of those teams are Polish teams, and you'll be correct. But remember, Shakhtar are playing outside of the Ukraine, so they are temporarily housed at the Army Stadium in Poland for the time being, and that's where they played Real Madrid earlier today. All right, so Group G is where we're going now because Man City secured their place in the round of 16 despite that 0-0 draw against FC Copenhagen. And let's show you the highlight package.
Copenhagen in the white with blue trim. Manchester City in their changed kit of red and black for Manchester City, coming from the boot of Julian Alvarez, who is attacking that ball. Paulson gets it away. Mahrez trying to keep it alive. Alvarez back to Rodri. Oh, what a stunning finish. Cross comes in, goes up into the air. Did it hit a hand of Mahrez there? That will be the first question as it comes out of the sky. Right. Looks as if it might have come off his arm, but he's not the player that scores the goal. And the referee looks as if he's going to overturn the goal and gives the handball. Gundogan trying to unleash one, and it's over the top of the crossbar by some distance. Did a very good job. Haraldsen. Yellart tries to get it to the edge of the box. That's a good hit. It's a really good hit, and so close from Leraga. Morris's delivery. Akanji is up there. Might drop for him again. It didn't. And Laporte trying to get something on it. The referee stopped the game. Now, was there a handball? Well, it hits the top of Bolson's arm. Is that below the t-shirt line? It would be harsh. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It is. It's a penalty to Manchester City. It's Mahrez against Grabara. It's saved! Daramy away. Game getting a little bit stretched here. There's space for Haraldsen, who's trying to get round the back. He thought he was brought down on the edge of the penalty area, and the referee is saying no foul. It is a potential red card review for denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. And I don't think there is much debate around that half an hour into this game. He is, you know. It's a red card for Sergio Gomez. Shifted on towards Christensen. Lovely ball to the far post, and Johannesson was sliding in. Daramy. Stamanik with an effort. Whizzes past the left hand of Edison.
All right, so what does that result do for Group G? Well, it sends City through to the round of 16 with their 10 points. Dortmund have a little more work to do to get there. Sevilla, they get on the board again, their second point of a disappointing campaign. And FC Copenhagen, the boys were crushed at the final whistle, knowing that they had let a chance slip to get 3 points. Only one from today, and they are in a struggle now to get into the Europa League, which I'm sure would have been their target at the start of the group stage. given the quality of City and Dortmund. They would have gambled that they wouldn't have gotten through ahead of those teams, and so they have to battle Sevilla now for that Europa League place awarded to the team that finishes third in the group. Nick Blackman is still with us, and Nick, the obvious place to start again is that red card, because we saw Sergio Gomez running back and bringing Haraldson down, and this time, well, like the first one, I didn't see much attempt to play the ball. It was just two players holding each other, but then Haraldson let go in time, and when the VAR looked at it, by the time the angle became apparent, it was clear that the City man was doing all of the holding. Right decision by the referee in concert with VAR?
Yes, as the letter of the law says, obviously he was the last man, and he was avoiding a goal or stopping a goal-scoring opportunity. I also think the attack has been very, very smart, because if you actually watch the replay back, you see that he is running across the Man City defender, and obviously he's left no decision but for the defender to come across him, and obviously clip the heels, and he's gone down and got the penalty.
Yeah, we're going to see what the referee sees on replay here now. So yeah, Haraldson running across Gomez, who grabs him, and yeah, there's no way the result would have been anything other than a red card, because that's as blatant comes. Luckily for City, just inside the D, just outside the 18-yard box, and the referee had no cause to give a penalty, but a straight red card to Sergio Gomez, and it's unlikely that he'll get a chance anytime soon, even after serving that suspension from Man City. This team is so hard to get in, Nick, and this must be the disappointment for the young man. It's a City team that is hard to break into. You get a chance like today in the Champions League, a big stage, albeit not against a big team, but it's still a big stage, and he must be crushed that he didn't get a chance to show his true worth because he got red carded so early.
Yeah, most definitely, but this will be another challenge in a long career that I'm sure he's going to have, but it's also the next step in his career, playing for a top team like Manchester City, where you are actually going to dominate the ball maybe for 70% of the game, and you have to stay alert and to stay switched on, and that has obviously cost him tonight. He switched off just for a split second when he was playing so well up until that point, and ultimately he's got a red card, and his team have managed to come through the game unscathed, but in a bigger game, later on down the line, it could have been a lot more important.
Yeah, across the Group H we go, where PSG and Benfica, they still are locked at the top of the table following another 1-1 draw, this time at the Parc des Princes, as we have those highlights for you.
And away we go. Paris Saint-Germain now, with Mbappe given a head start by Neymar. In it comes, Neymar bringing it under control. Pablo Sarabia. Wow, that had everything apart from the finishing touch. Now Verratti sliding it forward. Antonio Silva with a challenge. Referee didn't like the look of that at all. Table of scorers in the Champions League, and there was never too much doubt about where the ball was going to end up there.
No, he's the man who's looked most likely out there today.
Alexander Barr.
I think we know what the end result is going to be here.
Michael Oliver will see for himself. But
no, it's not a great challenge, is it? I don't know if he slips and that sort of causes him to give away that foul.
Second penalty of the night. 1-1. Joao Mario blasts it home.
I mean, they've been second best in this match by some distance, but, you know, it's 2 against 1 there. He's facing away from goal. It's such a needless challenge.
Yeah, if ever I could score a penalty in a big game, I don't want to score it like that. That was actually absolutely smashed by Joao Mario for 1-1. So PSG and Benfica, 8 points. PSG lead on goal difference. Maccabi Haifa getting on the board today, and hapless Juventus, they are at the bottom of the table on those 3 points. Nick, quickly, PSG and Benfica continue to set the pace in this group. And today's game, Mbappe played well in spurts. Neymar was okay. But you think the draw was fair in the end? 1-1, Benfica?
Yeah, I think it was a very fair result. I think Benfica have obviously gone toe-to-toe with PSG over the last couple of games and look really strong. So I think they're quietly going about their business, and I think they could be a dark horse to go quite far in this year's competition.
Yeah, hear you on that. We're out of time, my friend. Thank you very much for talking with us again, and we look forward to doing it in 24 hours when we review the games from Wednesday.
Thank you.
Good. Nick Blackman, the man who plays for Barbados, and he is our Champions League review specialist. Mariah, not many goals today in the Champions League. There were 8 games played today, only 14 goals. We're used to seeing an average 23, 25 goals on Champions League match days. Today, a bit understated, but we live in the hope that tomorrow has much in store for us.
Yeah, I want to think that, a lot of the Premier League matches, and now we're higher up in the Premier League season, it's affecting some of the players, because even today, Manchester City, George, you'd expect them, and today was such a shock for me. You would have expected them to get at least a win. We didn't see that, and where goals were concerned, the last game they had 5 against the same Copenhagen team. So, a lot to think about where Manchester City is concerned, and that's just one example to tell you about the lack of goals for today. Well, we have a lot more to talk about on the SportsMax Zone, and that includes a chat with the members of the Cayman Islands national team preparing for the America's Netball World Cup qualifiers in Kingston. And next, JADCO chairman Alexander Williams stops by as we discuss the John Campbell case. Stay with us.